Hello, happy Thursday, and welcome back to another episode of 10 a.m. Tea with Natalie. I hope that your day is going well. It is 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern, and it is Thursday, which means that it is almost Friday, which means that it's almost the weekend. So I'm pretty sure everybody's probably excited about that. So, as we know, spring is in full swing, and springtime is all about kind of getting up and going and moving and blooming in Chinese medicine cultures, or in a Chinese culture and in Chinese medicine theory there. So, since spring is all about kind of moving and shaking, let's talk more about exercise today. Good morning, Dawn. Thanks for checking in. And so, exercise is defined as movement that requires the body to burn calories and makes the muscles work. So that's pretty vague. That, kind of constitutes anything, scratching your head or, walking across the room or whatever the case may be. Really what it's about is heart rate and physical exertion. So that means that your exercise is really personal to what's going on with you. How intense you should exercise is based on how fit you are personally, and the exercises that you should do is really based on how well your body can tolerate different things. Not everyone can be a runner. That's not realistic. People have issues with knees and ankles and foot pain and stuff like that. If the exercises that you're doing are causing you harm, then it's probably a good idea to switch it up and change to something that's a little less impact, maybe a little less strenuous, especially as we age. When we are 40, we could not probably do exercises at the same level that we could when we were in high school. It's just not realistic. So, I don't expect a 40-year-old man to go back to his, high school football workouts in order to lose weight. That's not really something that, could be necessarily safe for a lot of people. So, overall, in general, exercise is classified into 3 categories: light, moderate, and heavy. And it's all based on how intensely you are working out. So it's based on a heart rate calculation. Typically, you see it's 220 minus your age is your maximum heart rate. Actually, in 2001, though, the American College of Cardiology recommended that we use 208 minus your age to get a better idea of what the maximum heart rate should be. So there is a little bit of variability in there. So, plus or minus 10% is always something to kind of keep in mind, and realize how your body is feeling too. Like if you feel like you're at your maximum exertion, you might be, and don't try to push past that and pass out running down the road or something like that. It's really not necessary to have that be one of the consequences of your fitness routine. Okay, so light exercise is considered to be less than 50% of your maximum heart rate. And this includes activities like walking slowly, cooking food at the stove, dusting. Typically with light exercise, you're not breaking a sweat, you're not getting out of breath. It's very, very easy activity. So for me, I'm 36. 220 minus 36 is 184 beats per minute, which would be my maximum heart rate. So if I'm working at 50% or less, I'm looking at 92 beats per minute or less. And so I can easily take my own heart rate or pulse just, by feeling on the wrist or feeling on the side of the neck here. You can actually count it for a full minute. You can count it for 30 seconds and multiply it by 2. You could count it for 10 seconds and multiply by 6, whatever kind of works for you. It depends on how mathematically minded you are. And so you can just easily check in, or you could have a pulse monitor or a Fitbit or something like that to be checking your heart rate for you. And so light exercise is not considered to, be really beneficial as far as cardiac benefits in different ways, but it's better than sitting on your butt. And so if you've been just sitting on your butt, kind of getting up and vacuuming and doing different things can be strenuous. When we get older and we have limitations with mobility, just vacuuming or standing at the stove can be strenuous. So it's really something that is, case by case, person by person. I'm not expecting someone who has a really hard time walking from the bedroom to the kitchen to be, walking a mile. That might, really cause some damage. They might, put themselves at risk there. So it's always slow and steady, and you need to meet your body where your fitness level is. That's kind of where I recommend patients start, and then you incrementally, day by day, grow stronger, and then you can push yourself a little bit further, little by little. Moderate exercise is when you're using 50 to 70% of your maximum heart rate. So for me at 36, that puts my target range between 92 and 129 beats per minute. If I was 60 years old, it would be between 80 and 112 beats per minute. So that can be pretty, different. You wouldn't probably want to have your running group be with people that are 30 years older than you, because the paces are probably going to be pretty different there. It's going to be hard to hold a conversation when you're, a mile apart. Brisk walking, weightlifting, softball is all considered moderate exercise. You're going to break a little bit of a sweat, slight to moderate, and you should be able to carry out talking, but you don't want to be talking too much because it's a little bit difficult there. So that would be considered moderate exercise. And then lastly, we have heavy exercise, which is where you're using 70 to 85% of your maximum heart rate. And so this would be climbing stairs. This would be running as fast as you can, skiing and basketball, heavy weightlifting are things that are going to be considered to be heavy exercise. And so for me, that puts my target heart range at 128 to 156.4 beats per minute. For someone who is 60, their range is more of 112 to 136 beats per minute. So, that's 20 beats per minute difference between a 36-year-old and a 60-year-old. That's something to really be paying attention to. So we shouldn't be expecting everyone to be at the same pace. That's just not realistic. And as we age, we have to remember that we are not 18 anymore, so that, but all bets are kind of off, especially if you haven't been there for a while. You got to take it easy and slow. Really, we don't recommend going beyond 90% of your maximum heart rate. Potentially, you're just putting yourself at risk for something dangerous to happen, or the risk of fainting or injuring yourself actually goes up and up. The more strenuous your exercises, typically the more likely you are to have an injury with those kind of exercises. So it's not something that you're going to want to do, just starting it on your own without any guidance. And when you're looking at starting a fresh workout routine, it's really important to be consulting people that know what they're talking about. So starting off with a personal trainer to come up with a plan is a really good common sense kind of rule of thumb. And if the person isn't kind of understanding what you're looking for, personal trainers aren't doctors. So please feel free to look for other ones that might be a better fit or have a better understanding for what your unique health conditions and goals are. So I hope you found that to be helpful. We're going to continue on tomorrow talking more about aerobic and anaerobic exercise. And then, we'll set you free for the weekend. So I hope you have an awesome day. Take care of yourself. Have a glass of water. Do something nice for someone. Have a vitamin, vitamin-rich food. Maybe broccoli or something today. And take care of yourself, and we'll be back again tomorrow. 10 a.m. Tea with Natalie, Tuesdays through Fridays at 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern. See you again tomorrow.